How are we all doing today? Just a quick update, because there really is no more timeline that I'm seeing go by. Although, in one of my last videos, I talked about, the Woody from Toy Story, you pull on his string, somebody poisoned the water hole, and now they're talking about poisoning the water, right? Okay, so when they actually put that out there, that's when it started, right? We're going backwards, so from that point forward is when they were poisoning the water. So that's about the only update as far as the timeline and things that, we've discussed on my other videos. Now, this right here that you're seeing, I can't find the image that I took for my other video, but if you go back to What If Conclusion, there's a similar picture, and I describe it. We talk about, God breathing into the earth and creating man. And I depicted, the sun as divine male consciousness breathing into the earth here. Okay. Oh. Seem to have lost that. Alright. And I described it as, here we are, little star seeds. That's the term, right? And we're breathed into the earth, and then we were birthed out of the earth. Okay? Now, the thing about this and why I'm going over this again, this is probably the greatest piece of information I can give anybody. Okay, so if this is divine consciousness right here, and this is divine consciousness right here, and they get together, this is the marriage that the Bible talks about when he returns for his bride. We are the offspring. Okay? Because like I've said before, this isn't our real sun, what we see in the sky every day. Now, what's important about this is we're also told that energy is neither created nor destroyed, right? So this is why you have the kingdom within you. There's actually a little piece here. This wasn't created. This was shucked off of here, so to speak. All right? So when they say the kingdom is within, you actually have a piece of creator inside of you. It's not, you're not a thought. A lot of people say we're only here because of thoughts, and there's some truth to that. It's, if you go back to the conclusion of it all, and I talk about people draw their circles. Okay, there's some people on the planet, lots of people on the planet that all think the same, right? And so, they're building their new world over here. The other people, birds of a feather, they're over here, they're building, so... And it's a very hard one to explain, but it has to do with timelines. We've discussed timelines, right? In here, this is just about which timeline you're going to fill into when all this goes down. Because I think the way it works, we don't get to spend, the way I understand it, this is about a 360,000-year-old story. And, so we don't get to spend another 360,000 years unwinding it all. We only get a certain amount of time to unwind it. That's why it's... I don't know. it's crazy. But the point of this is, okay, energy is neither created nor destroyed. The kingdom is within. Because that's just a piece of God right there that now resides within you. Okay? I've had, when I talk to people about the same stuff that I post here on YouTube, it's all the same thing. I talk to people in the real world every single day about this exact same stuff. And a lot of people will tell me, well, I've never considered myself a god. Well, that's half the problem. That is half the problem. When this mask mandate thing went down here locally, I would stand inside our local Walmart because, I've been out here for a long time. I have a lot of customers. Everybody out here knows who I am, okay? It's just one of those things. And so I have no problems, running into somebody I know at Walmart. It happens all the time. And, when the mask mandate came down and everybody was standing in the checkout line at Walmart, there was actually a local police officer that I knew standing in line behind me. And yes, he had his mask on. And I was talking to him loud enough so that everybody in that whole area could hear me. And when I got done, you could have heard a pin drop on the floor. Because the biggest question I asked him was, if you're a child of God, and if God were to come visit this earth, would he walk through that door over there wearing a mask? And that is half the problem with the world. No one has, the humans weren't taught. Yeah, you were taught that divinity lies within you, and we're but people really don't know what that means. You know, and talking to the people that I talk to out here, and even family members, I had a 3-hour conversation with a family member last night, and I've respected this man my whole life, and I still do. And he, you know, he'll listen to things that I say, but even when I talk to him, he just says, well, I've never seen these things, I've never heard these, and that's true, because this isn't what's told out there, is it? You're told that you're given the kingdom within, you're told lots of things, but, you know, this is where I do the big picture stuff and connect the dots, so to speak. You know, there's a piece of God that resides within you. That makes you a God, a child of God, right? And if you start looking at yourself and everyone else around you that way, you will really start to see things in a different light. It doesn't matter if they're awake or not. How many people are awake on this planet? I mean, and I've got some really crazy crap here that I put down, and I don't really consider myself awake because, I mean, yeah, I'm awake. I see what's going on, and woody-doo-doo-doo. I get all that. It is what it is. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I'm still searching for the timeline that I'm watching. You know, this part I have understood. I know who I am. And because I stand on that, it is what it is. I get the things in my life that I get. Everybody does, because of where they stand on their beliefs as to who they are. So, that's really about it today. That was just a short one. This is just, you know, something I thought of that I wanted to throw out there, because it doesn't matter. You know, there's a song by Shinedown that says, you know, it doesn't matter what you believe, it's how did you love, right? So, you know, I say stuff here that, you know, probably no one else is saying. I don't know. I see things that other people, it is what it is. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean, like I've said before, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. This is how I see it. And everybody lives their life based on their beliefs, correct? You know, look at Sunday mornings. Everybody goes to church because they believe that's the right thing. I mean, everybody lives their life based on their beliefs. And you make the decisions in life that you do based on the information at hand, right? So even if somebody lies to you and you act on that information, that lie being told to you falls on them. If you have the right intent in your heart that you're acting on the information that was given to you, that's, you know, God, He knows what's in your heart. There's a piece of Him in you. You are a God in a physical form. Start treating yourself like one. Start treating the people around you like one. Even if you don't think they deserve it, just because you see more than they do doesn't make you any more special than they are. All right? It is what it is. That's my favorite saying. You've heard it a lot. Okay? And yes, I think the time's getting close, so I don't know how many more of these little quickies I'll even be able to put out. But, you know, to me, again, it doesn't matter the stories. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. Who you are matters. This is divinity. You know, the sun that we, and I've said this forever, the sun that we stare at in the sky isn't our real sun. Okay, this is like I don't know, some nursemaid sun, something. It's not our real sun. Okay, this is not the sun that we are connected to. When the Bible talks about, you know, the sun rising in the west, because this whole realm is, we've talked about this. This is an inverted realm. Okay, the North Pole is actually Antarctica. Okay, we don't learn it that way. We're not programmed that way. But even in the Bible, it talks about how the sun is going to rise in the west. Everything's backwards down here, right? So when the change happens, you know, the sun's no longer going to rise in the east, I don't think. But we'll see. You know, we'll see when we get there. We're not there yet, and I don't. I anticipate a lot of things, but I don't count on anything. You know, your perception of life has a lot to do with your expectations of life. Any situation you walk into, you go there with a certain amount of expectation. If you leave your expectations at the door and just live life as it is, you'll be far less disappointed. Quit putting your expectations. I don't even put my expectations. I put my truth out on video, and this is exactly what I believe. Okay, there is a piece of God inside of me, inside of you, inside of everyone right here. Star seeds. Okay? This is just the energy. Mother Earth is the creation. Creator, so to speak. This is the information, right? And let me tell you how that works in real life. If you're a dude and someone else is a woman and these two get together, okay? And I see this happen a lot, and this is why honesty is always the best policy. He may look at her, she may look at him, and oh my God, they're just gorgeous. They're this, they're that, the others, the right height, whatever. I don't know what triggers your heart. Everything's a trigger, right? Okay. And usually what happens is she'll have a life plan and he'll have a life plan, and sometimes they don't always coincide, okay? And the biggest one I've noticed is most men, not all men, this isn't ironclad. I'm just, just like everything, this is all big picture, okay? Most men that I know walking the earth don't grow up thinking, wow, I want to run right out there and have kids. That is something that is programmed into you. This whole run out, get a job, get a good education so you can get a good job, so you can get married and have a good life and have kids. If you're a 50-year-old man or a 50-year-old woman walking this planet and you ain't never been married and ain't never had kids, you're going to be called names just because that's not part of the programming. Now, she may want to have children and you may not want to. And have you ever heard stories of, women becoming pregnant after the men have vasectomies, or we use condoms all the time, and they say that nothing is 100% correct. You know why nothing is 100%? Because if her will to have a child is strong enough, you cannot put anything in the way. She is going to have a child. Period. That's women are very powerful creators. They just don't know that because they haven't been programmed that way. They haven't been taught that they are goddesses and that we were gods, okay? That it is what it is. Okay, so the creation, that's why when Earth was destroyed, we've talked about this in other videos, it destroyed all the other timelines. Us are all the source of creation. Right? Look at the picture. This is in you. Every day you create your world, knowingly or unknowingly. It just is what it is. So treat the God in you well. Treat the God in your neighbor well. Help them see the God in them, because if they don't see it, no one's pointed out to them. Right? And no one's telling you this. There are people telling you that, but it's not, I don't see it being put out this way. I really don't. So that's all I have for today. It's an awesome day. Enjoy life and dream big, okay? Dream big. I said in that one of my previous videos, I don't even know, we're into real life Wheel of Fortune, right? I tell people all the time, if you could picture this planet. Now, we've learned what all the systems are, right? Your government's crooked, your schools are crooked, big pharma's crooked, oil is crooked, right? All these systems, if you remove all these systems from here, think about that. Remove all the roads. We've talked about this before. All the bridges, all the railroad tracks, all the car dealerships, all the gas stations, all the oil refineries, all the tankers. You remove everything oil related off this planet. You remove everything government related off this planet. You remove everything education, hospital. You remove all those evils off this planet, and how much room does that leave? How much of this is cluttered with crap? when you're drawing your circles and creating the new earth, that's what I think about. Getting rid of all this crap, because when we slip through that barrier and go from down below to above, that's what the ascension is from the Hopi prophecies, right? We're ascending, we're going up. And like in my last video, the rise of the Antichrist, we are the Antichrist. We're about to rise, we're about to move from this dimension into another one, and everything is going to change in the blink of an eye, right? That's the way I see it. But anyhow, like I said, treat the God in you well. Give some love to this goddess. Okay? And your neighbors. I love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.